On December 21st, government parliamentarian Charan Das Prasad voted to unseat his government in a no-confidence motion. The legal challenge to his vote included the fact that he had dual citizenship and hence was not qualified to sit in the National Assembly. That decision affected 3 government ministers, forcing them to resign. 3 parliamentarians on the opposition also had to give up their seat in the House. Candidates for the elections, meaning those who can become parliamentarians and become ministers, must swear that they meet the qualifications for elections, which includes the qualification that they be citizens of Guyana only. That sworn affidavit has to be submitted on nomination day, which for the upcoming elections will be this Friday. But the elections management body Gecom will not likely be investigating to see if what the candidates swear to is actually so.
I am not sure, particularly from Gecom's end, in terms of a challenge to a statutory declaration. But as it says, legally, it's a legal form, it's a statutory declaration, and therefore it is the expectation that as candidates on a list, that you will be adhering to what are the statutory requirements on those forms.
While there are provisions against those who make false declarations, Gecom will not be the one to pursue action for any false declarations, at least not now.
There is a section in the law that speaks to false declaration. But from Gecom's end, I know you might be wondering whether we have that legal obligation to investigate and all of that. From our end, from my end, where I stand right now, this is not something that I think Gecom has ever engaged in, and I'm not sure whether from the legal side it is something that will be examined.
And as to what qualifies candidates for election to high office, there is little to go on.
Is the nomination the only qualifying requirement for a candidate? Or are there other requirements?
Well, as far as we know, the law speaks about candidates being qualified to be elected for the National Assembly. But there is no detail there that says this is what the person must have or possess. But the law speaks about the candidates being qualified to be members of the National Assembly. But of course that language is vague. There is no details there to say this is what it should be.
There are 19 parties that have expressed interest in contesting the March 2nd general and regional elections. The elections are for the President and 65 seats in the National Assembly, together with seats on the country's 10 regional democratic councils. Reporting for the newsroom, Neil Marks.